Do you struggle receiving information that you need, maybe from your teams or from clients through forms? Well, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to set up forms the correct way so that the end users are actually filling them out for you. And I'm going to show you what to do with that data to maximize the data so you can use it however you need to use it. Let's dive in. Have you been wondering how to grow in your Smartsheet practice? Maybe for you as an individual or for your department or maybe for your whole company. Justin, do I do consulting? Do I do group coaching? Do I get a course? What is the best fit for me? Well, I created a form just for that. It's just for you. Just click on the link below and it's yours. After you fill out that form, I will send you the answer to all these burning questions that you have so that you have confidence in growing in your Smartsheet practice. All right, let's get back to this video. All right, so all forms always start with a sheet. And just so you know, on any sheet, you can create a form on that sheet. And it's going to be found here in the top left where it says forms. So let's go ahead and start creating a form for the sheet. And this form, when we fill it out, will automatically log each submission on each row per submission. All right, let's click on forms. And you got create form and manage form. We're going to go ahead and click on create form. And then a new window is going to appear. And this is where you create and modify your form. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the title. So maybe this is for a coffee shop. And we're going to call this maybe like a survey for the coffee shop. And you can give some help text at the bottom. And just know that in the help text and help text for any field, you can actually embed a web URL. I'll show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to click and highlight the section that you want to become a URL. And then you're going to click on this little link icon right here. And then in here, you're going to erase it. You're going to embed your URL. So maybe I want to put in the URL for my website, which is Smartsheet Made Simple. And just know this website is live. I do offer Smartsheet courses, Smartsheet consulting through Fourscore Solutions, and free online training. So let's go ahead and copy this URL. And then we're going to go ahead, go to the form. We're going to go ahead and paste. Click save. And then we'll come back to that. And just know you can change the background color of your form. You can also embed a picture or even a GIF. And you can choose to take out the Smartsheet logo and put in your own logo, depending on what Smartsheet plan you have. But I always like to make my YouTube videos with the most simple plan, so anyone can go ahead and do what I do on the YouTube videos. All right, let's get into our form here. So let's go ahead and put a header. And I like to do headers per section in the form. And maybe this header is your information. So we're going to click here and change it. And the way I was able to add that is you can just click and drag from the left, or if you just click, it will by default add it to the bottom. You can add as many headers as you'd like, as many dividers as you'd like, but you can only add one file upload. And this is where they can upload a photo or a PDF or Excel file, whatever they want to upload, they can upload it on the form. All right, so we got your information. So the primary column is going to be the primary column on the sheet. So where it says primary column, column 2, column 3, column 4, these are the actual columns on the sheet themselves. So primary column, column 2, column 3, column 4. As you can see here, we have our primary column, column 2, column 3, column 4, so on and so forth. All right, let's go back to our form. So now we're going to go to manage forms. We're going to open up the form that we created. Are we starting to create? Just click right into it. Takes us right back to where we were. So primary column, I want to change that column name to customer name. Now this is the name of the column on the sheet, like I just mentioned, but on the form, I don't want it to read as customer name. I want it to say your name for the person filling out the form. So the column name is called customer name, but the label on the form, what they're going to see when they open up the form, is going to say your name. This number here, we're going to go ahead and put email, customer email, click OK, or we'll do a contact here, contact list, click OK. So the column name is called customer email, but the label on the form is going to be your email. Say your email. Click save. And because this is an email, I'm going to click here, and to the right here, I'm going to choose email. And what that does, it simply validates if it's an email or not. And these fields here, you can make them required or not required. So any field that you click on, any column that you click on, click required. Make these required. Now let's go and add a divider. And we're going into the next section of our form, which is the actual survey of the coffee shop. I'll just copy this information here so you can see what that looks like. Again, we're going to make this URL. All right. And you can change the colors of your help text here. However you'd like to do it. All right, so the next question here, let's go ahead and change column 3 to what was your favorite coffee drink? Maybe we'll change this to a drop down. So we'll do mocha, latte, tea. Now what you can do on multi drop down is you can have it where they scroll through, or it can be vertical radio buttons or horizontal radio buttons. Or you can leave it as the first option default as a drop down. Next thing you can do is instead of just using the columns that are here, you can always add in a new column or a new field, one and the same, by clicking new field right here on the top left, and then you can choose whatever you want to choose here. Are you happy with your purchase? Maybe a drop down here. We'll do a yes, no, restrict to list values only. And then I'm going to go over in the top left. I'm going to drag and drop that right here. And then I'm going to choose the vertical. See how the option looks different there? Maybe you want to do like a comment section. Do text. And for the comments section, instead of just one single field across, maybe you want like a box. So we're going to choose multi-text. And then you can choose how big that line is. Maybe you want it 5. See, I made the box bigger there. And maybe we want these to be required as well. And then we'll add a new field called submission status. The drop-down is submitted, replied back, complete. Now what we can do is maybe this is a submission status that we don't want showing up on the form, but we do want it showing up on the sheet. This is for internal purposes. Well, what you can do is you can add it to the form here, but I'm going to make it hidden. And then the default value of this submission status is going to be submitted. Click save on the top right. So what that's going to do is every time a customer submits a form, by default, it will automatically show up as submitted automatically for us on the sheet. So when we go to manage the sheet, they always come in as submitted initially. And then as we manage that sheet, we can change the status over time. But the person filling out the form will not see this field because it is hidden. All right. So let's go ahead and open up our form and test it out. So we've saved it. Always make sure you click save on the top right on your form, and go ahead and click on open form, and let's take a look. Here's the URL link for our form, and just know that anyone can fill out a Smartsheet form, even if they do not have a Smartsheet login. It can be anyone across the world. As long as they have the URL, they can fill out a form. All right, so let's test it out. Say my name is James Bond. Put my email in there. What was your favorite coffee drink? I'm going to choose the latte. Are you happy with your purchase? Yes. Blah, 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 blah. And see, I didn't remove these columns, so they're here by default. And let's go ahead and see for any questions, please go to our website. Just click here. It opens up a second tab, or on their phone, it will open up a second tab. It takes me straight to whatever your URL link you want them to go and visit. All right, so we'll go back to our form, and let's say I forget to fill this part out. Actually, let's say I forget to put in my name as the required field. If I try to click submit, it won't let me because it's saying you forgot to fill this part out. But if I fill it out, I click save and submit. If I click submit, it will automatically capture my response. So let's close this out. The form is done. Let's go back to our sheet, and let's go to settings. So right now we're in form. Let's go to the settings of our form. You can choose by default the vertical view, the side-by-side view. This is nice if you have a GIF or a picture that you want to show up, maybe for branding for your company, or the plain view. It's just the form itself. I don't like to mess with these items unless you want for internal purposes only for your company. If you choose required Smartsheet login, people outside of your company will not be able to fill out the form. You can use this to reduce spam. I really haven't had any issues with this. I usually have this toggled off. Form submission, you can, just as it says, display the confirmation message. Hey, we received your submission. Thank you so much. You can reload the same form. This is very helpful if you're using your form for like multiple entries at the same time, maybe for like inventory use or just constantly filling out forms over and over and over. Or you can send the user to a link. Maybe you want to send them to that website. You can just copy that information, take them right to that spot, and now it will be there. By default, the form submissions will always show up on the latest form submission will show up on the bottom of the sheet. You can change that to the top of the sheet. We'll choose the bottom. And if they choose to have the form sent to them, their answers sent to them, you can change the default message right here. So we're going to click save. So let's go ahead and look at our form submissions. We're going to go back to form log. That's the name of our sheet, form log. We don't need these columns here, so let's remove them. All right, so here is our form submission that I just submitted on the form. Now, as you see here, these fields showed up on the form. This field, submission status, did not, but it automatically came as submitted. So me on the receiving end, for internal purposes only, I know that this is a new form submission because it just came in. Maybe I want to add when the form got created. So I'm going to right click, insert column to the right, and I'm going to choose created date. I'm going to click OK, click save, and there's a timestamp of when it was created. Now, if you add this column later on a sheet, it will always retro timestamp the earlier submission, so that's always helpful. And just know, because I added a created column, this column will not show up in the form. But if I want to add it, I can always drag and drop it in. But created will not show up in the form here. All right. The next thing I want to show you is on the form itself. So when you go to Manage Forms, click on Forms and Manage Forms, you can create more than one form. You can have multiple different forms feeding into the one same sheet. The other thing is, on any of these separate forms, the one we just created right here, this will automatically open the forms in case you want to test it or use it for yourself. This is very helpful. This is the copy of the form URL. Just going to click it. It's going to copy it to your clipboard. And then you can change things under form. You can go back to edit, or you can just click into it. You can open the form, share the form, copy the URL, You can duplicate it. So if you have a complex form, you just need to duplicate it and maybe change a couple items and have two forms. This is very helpful. You can deactivate it. So maybe you don't want to delete it, but you don't want to use it right now. You can deactivate the form. All right. So let's pretend that we got our form submission going on here and we want to manage it. So maybe we want to do some conditional formatting. So when we're going to click here where it says conditional formatting, add new rule, maybe when set condition, maybe when submission status is submitted, we want it to be yellow, but not for the whole row. Maybe we just want submission status to stay submitted. And just know that when you drag and drop columns around on the sheet, however you want to do it, it will not change the lineup on the form. The form will stay exactly the same. So you can mess around with your sheet here however you want. It will not change the form. The only thing that will change on a form that you do to a sheet is if you delete a column. All right, so we got that there. And we'll go ahead and copy, clone the rule, and maybe reply back. We'll change this format to blue. We'll clone this again. And maybe if it's complete, it will be green. There we go. Maybe we replied back and now it turns blue. And maybe we got everything we needed from that customer. Now it's complete. All right. So now we've created a form. We have managed the sheet. And I wanted to give you a little bonus content here. You can also create a free QR code that anyone in the world can scan. It will take them directly to this form. So the place I always like to go is QR Code Monkey. So let's go to, and this is free QR code and it lasts for life. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our sheet here. We're going to go to Forms, Manage Forms. We're going to click on that copy form URL. And we're going to go back to QR Code Monkey. And right here in the URL, we're going to delete that. And we're going to paste in our form URL. Now you can mess with the colors. I actually don't recommend that because you want it very clean and clear, very black and white, dark and light colors. But just know that you can change the colors here. You can add a logo in the middle. You can bring in your own logo if you want. And you can customize the design. But I'm not going to mess with all that. I'm just going to put in my URL. I'm going to click Create QR Code. And then what we're going to do is we're going to then click Download PNG. Now this ad is going to pop up. Do not click X on the ad. It can sometimes take you to something else or not saved correctly. What I've learned over time, just let it do its thing. Give it a couple seconds. All right, it is now created. Now we can click the X. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our downloads here. We'll open it up. And here it is. Now, if you're watching this on the computer and you take your phone and scan this, it will take you to this form. And I'll actually leave this form active so that you can mess with it and see how it works. But just know that this QR code is good for life. This QR code you can embed on stickers, you can embed in your restaurant, you can on whatever you want to do. It is now, will always take someone to that form. All right, so we've learned how to fill out a form, how to manage the form on the sheet itself, and how to create a QR code. Again, that's QR Code Monkey. It's free to use, and it's good for life. I've never had any issues whatsoever with QR Code Monkey. And you can put hyperlinks in your form, again, on the website, just like I have here. If you have a chance, please visit my website. I offer a lot for you guys. I even have more free content for those who are all about your free content. I'm the same way. It's all here. And if the free content has been very helpful for you and you're like, Justin, I really want to take my Smartsheet practice or the Smartsheet solution that our business uses to the next level, I offer Smartsheet courses. And I also offer Smartsheet consulting through the company I work for called Fourscore Solutions. So please visit this website and we'll look forward to hearing from you. All right, you guys, as always, take care and God bless.